readers. Today we're going to talk about quite a few different things. I watched 3 different videos yesterday that really got my juices flowing. The first one was Mike Falzone's YouTube philosophy video, and that really struck a chord with me because of the fact that he talks about people being drawn to your personality and drawn to your passion. So if you're making videos that you're not quite passionate about, maybe it's time to kind of do something a little different. Change it up. Figure out something else. The Brie May made a video called Creator Self-Care, and that was really cool because she talks about just taking care of yourself so that you are making the best content that you can make, and just working on all of that and keeping it chill. And the next video that I saw, which really ties into BookTube more than any other thing, was the pressure that we put on ourselves to have TBR piles, so the big to be read piles. I have a to be read shelf, but like she mentioned, I like to have options for the future, so it's not stuff that I have to read right now, but, you know, stuff. It also got me thinking about the fact that a lot of times, whether you're reviewing books or gadgets or I don't know what else, where you have to be on the forefront of things, so you feel the pressure to read the newest book or have the newest phone or have the newest computer. Even with the idea of having to have the best lighting and the best camera to be able to be a YouTuber or be involved in making videos, you could have natural lighting, really. I don't know, I just feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So that's not just from Chauncey Bonington's video, but like the overall, like, saying that you have to have these things to be able to be a real live person who makes videos on the internet. Somewhere on my computer, I don't know where, I lost it, tried to find it yesterday, could not for the life of me find this thing, but I have written somewhere my manifesto for blogging but also for booktubing. Right here I have sort of similar things, so I think it's important to have something written down to say this is something that I can go back to and say, hey, I want to do these things and remember that they're important to me. So the first thing on my BookTube philosophy, BookTube manifesto, is that I only receive books that I actually want to read. So if there's a book that it just sounds nice, but I'm just like, I don't think I'm ever gonna get around to reading that, like, ever, or it doesn't interest me very much, like it sounds cool, like X-Men meets Harry Potter, cool, yeah, but if it's something that I'm like, you know, I'm just not in the mood to read that, I'm okay with saying no. And I'm also okay with, like, getting a catalog from a publisher and going, I only want like 1 or 2 books from that. I don't feel like you have to have all of the things, or I don't feel like I have to have all the things, I should say. I don't want to impose any sort of rules on anybody in BookTube. I'm just saying that these are my philosophies. Something that I've just kind of like thought about recently is the idea of sleeping on it. So like if there's a conversation that's really a brewing, I like to watch a couple of videos, maybe see some reactions to it, but also let it kind of simmer in my brain before I like leap the words out of my fingertips, out of my mouth. But there are times where it's necessary to get in there and say things, but there are some times when I'm just like, I'm gonna write some stuff, maybe draft up a blog post that I never published. Basically, just the idea of like not jumping down people's throats about things. Not that I do that a lot, it's just every so often there's like a big conversation, I'm like, I don't quite agree with that, but let me just think about this for a bit. Because I feel like you can still be respectful as well as being honest with yourself and with other people without being like explosive and things. Another thing that I like to do, which I haven't done as often, but I want to, is get involved in Twitter chats. I know on BookTube there are a lot of like read-along type things or reading sprints and stuff like that, but I really like the more conversational ones, so like hashtag YA feminist chat. There are also chats like hashtag YA lit chat and hashtag NA lit chat, so if you are into young adult or new adult, and I think there might be a middle grade lit chat, so MG lit chat somewhere in there. But I think it's cool to get involved in those because it's not just booktubers, but there are also book bloggers and people who are into industry stuff with publishing, and also authors. Some of them are involved in those, so it's really cool to check out and get involved in other parts of the book community on the internet. Something that I've been terrible at for the past few years, but I've been on BookTube for 5 years, and the first year I looked at my stats, and almost half of the books that I read my first year were from the library, and I want to get back into that because I feel like that will really help me with reading more diversely, because of the fact that a lot of the books that I get sent my way, couple of them are diverse. So you've got, you know, characters that are racially, sexually, and otherwise diverse, but I feel like the libraries are a really good place to utilize that and to find new things that I wouldn't have read otherwise. One rule that I feel like is super, super important is to be accessible, but also know when to take time off from the internet. So yes, answer, you know, all of the comments and work hard at that. I could probably make that a full-time job, really, but know when to, like, step away from the internet. So I try to take weekends off, so on Friday afternoons I shut my laptop and don't open it back up till Sunday afternoon, if not Monday. That also gives me time on the weekend to read without being super inundated by, oh my gosh, I need to answer this or I need to do this. Like, I can check stuff on my phone, but at the same time I'm like, just push that away. Go read a book. Give you some time to kind of, again, it kind of goes back to like the whole letting things simmer and just going, okay, I need to breathe. I need to look up, because I feel like this week I've just felt really, I don't know what, but just with the internet and everything and just job searching and just life, I just feel like I need to kind of push back from the internet a little bit, and that is totally fine. Don't feel like you have to be plugged into everything all the time, because it gets really, really just pushes you down, I feel like. And although this is a living document, I'm treating it as such at least, I will say that my last point is to remember that people are here to watch you. So any discussion that you want to have, any discussion that, or books that you want to talk about that aren't just like, here's this popular book, or here's this, you know, thing that I know will get a lot of views. Like, yeah, you know, if you want to get a lot of views, go do your thing. Make stuff. But remember that a lot of people who started off and now are like hundreds of thousands of subscribers and stuff, you know, they started off with just being like, I want to make this thing and it is fun and I hope people like it, but the most important part is the fact that you get to use your creative juices for something that you're passionate about. So if you've got something on your brain and you're like, I want to do this, don't let anything stop you, because you've got a personality, I would hope, unless you're a robot or something. I'm guessing not. But I just really hope that you don't stop yourself from doing these things, and also think about writing your own philosophy or writing your own manifesto kind of thing of how you want to interact with your community and how you want to grow and things, because I know I started off with thinking I just want other people to be readers like I am. Like, not necessarily to read the same books, but to join in on the conversation of let's recommend each other books and talk about other books and stuff like that. So it's not all just let's all read the newest, brightest stuff. It's let's read different stuff. Let's read the backlist of this one author. Let's do all the things. Thank you for watching through all this rambling stuff. If you like this conversation, please like this video, share it with your friends, and all that fun stuff. I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading.